Am I audible? My voice is clear?
You're very well audible. Yeah, go ahead. Continue.
All right. I just spent some time working, and I worked in Africa for around 12 years, a couple of years in Europe and US, and came back to India, settled down in 2015 onwards. I'm here in India. I worked for UN for 4 years, and then World Bank for a couple of years. Then some UN agencies like ILO and other things. I was implementing a lot of healthcare systems for a kind of an, like insurance companies and also for public health. So my specialty are there. So I did my doctorate in iridology, which is related to healthcare. And that's it. I'm here. And right now I'm working for a company called NI Drive Japan. And that is also into a healthcare portfolio. Integrating between a kind of a PHR and EHR for US-based clients. So I'm quite okay with the HIPAA compliances. So those are my specialty. I'm a healthcare SME. So any healthcare thing, I can answer you. So the whole thing is that like Scrum, Agile, or a new tools which has been just came in between. So I'm trying to learn a lot from you guys. Such kind of a groups are beautiful. I would say there is a saying in Tamil, meaning that what you have learned is only handful, what you have not learned is worldful. So every day it's a new beautiful way we all can learn from one another, irrespective of your hierarchy from anybody. You can learn from a kid to an older person. So beautiful thing, and it's in this kind of a group is like iron sharpening iron. So we all sharpen each other with our goodness on that. Yeah.
Amazing. And I just wanted you to add your soft training skills as well, so that why we are speaking on today. That would be also very important.
Yeah, wherever I go, I worked a lot in many countries. I worked in around 52 countries. I spent some time in Afghanistan.
52?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I worked in Afghanistan. I worked in Pakistan. So wherever I go, I will try to associate with some universities and colleges. Try to really, because academics is a beautiful part of it, like you can learn. I'm a people person and I love different people. I was teaching in Cambodia. In Pakistan also, I had some time. Whenever I get time, I go. And right now I'm a professor, visiting professor in the Madras School of Social Work, and helping them for there is something called Facing the World, the reality for the master students, the last final year students who are going out the last semester. I take around 16 classes for them, facing the realities and facing the world. So those are the skill set that I bring into them, and that's it. So that really makes me happy, and I love my work. And I want
really great, Francis.
Yeah.
So impressive. Really. I think really proud of to have you here. Thank you. And guys, I think this is very interesting connection, right? So Dr. Francis is teaching our Suresh Babu's daughter. Is that the connection we have?
Yeah. She's in the college where I am, but she's in another department. She's in the psychology department. Yeah. I take classes for social work development. There is another department they have. There's a masters in development studies. So those are the classes that I take them on.
Excellent. Okay, let's dive into the topic. Thank you.
Okay.
Francis, where do you put up in Chennai?
Huh?
Where do you stay in Chennai?
Meenambakam.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm in Adambakam.
Oh, not far. I think it's very nearby. Actually, I'm in Nanganallur.
How many people from Chennai here in the can I have a show?
Raise your hands. We can meet for a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
myself. Look at that. Oh, Anirban, you are also Chennai, right? I forgot that.
Hi.
Muralidharan, where is Venkat. I think for many people from that group, right?
Actually, I should thank Murali Narayan. Okay, Murali Kumar Narayan.
Murali Kumar, I think that is.
Who introduced me to Suresh Babu.
Oh, like that. Yeah.
Actually, Suresh Babu, Murali, and we go for dinner sometimes for a coffee.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we have face-to-face fellowship. So
Great.
The Chennai folks, we all can meet for a cup of coffee one day.
Why not
So
Hyderabad?
let's
Yeah,
include
sure.
this Murali also.
Face to face.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll
Yeah, sure, Francis. We'll meet.
People in Hyderabad, people in Bangalore also can meet it. I mean,
Yeah, that's right.
great. I think we have 22 people now, Francis. I think you have got very good attendance today. I don't know how come this agenda got leaked out. I did not mention that, but probably I think people are there. Thanks, Ranjit, and thanks everyone to join. So let's start. Yeah, thank you.
Now, you are able to see my screen, correct?
Yes, we can.
I'll just flip through that. Okay.
Yeah.
And basically that we all can just look into this kind of an, these are the subject which I can take it for you guys, because I take some of these things for the students and some of the workforce. Some companies do ask me to give me a talk on these subjects. So I do that. Today we can go with the communication skill. I have like around 5 things. I will just take only 15 minutes. I will just say what it is. Sometimes from a techie point of view, many people think that why do I need a communication skill? Do I need it? Okay, I'm very strong in mathematics. I'm very strong in coding, and I know Oracle. So some of the guys over talk, how many languages do you know? Some guys would say, I know 6 languages. Wow, what's that? They will start from Fortran, Oracle, those are the things. So when they know, do they need a kind of a communication skill? This communication skill, is it only for my job? No. See, apart from the jobs that you have like around profession or employment and where you use it for you, there is something called you, okay? How do somebody know unless you bring in that kind of a replica of yourself to the communicative world, even in a social circle, okay? You need to express yourself, okay? I've seen that many people do not know how to even express themselves or communicate properly. Have you not seen guys losing girlfriends because they are not able to communicate properly what their feelings are? That can happen in your life. The losses can be really varying if you don't communicate effectively. See, communication is nothing but your artificial. No, it is saying about yourself, who you are, what you think. And I have many things in my mind. Even if I can't communicate myself with my daughter, even with my love and affections, what is the point of living? Communication is the beautiful way to connect with people. That's what I believe that. It could be your friends, it could be a family, it could be a life partner, or it could be your children or anybody, okay, society. I think that's very, very important. See, when you communicate, keep only one thing. Never try to copy others. You be yourself. Just wanted to say something else, like when Clint Eastwood, he's one of my favorite actors. And when he came into the thing, he brought in a special style. And at the time, you see Roger Moore and big guys were coming in on board, the monotonous kind of a thing, which is not happening. For 5 years, he was rejected, but he never let it off. So after 15 years, he says, had I become a kind of a Roger Moore in my life, the world would have lost Clint Eastwood. Sometimes when you try to replicate somebody else, the world will lose you. I think you need to keep that in mind. Never falsify. Talk what is in your heart, and in a clear and a communicative. Language is a picture. You can bring it about yourself and how you are and what you are. Some people naturally have a beautiful communication skill from this. And some people are very talkative, or some people never talk at all, or some people really hesitate a lot. There's this big, what we call the mind block is there when we are thinking whether I'm able to talk or not. Language makes a big deal about it. So why communication is also important in employment? In my life, maybe I was in a very top level position working for, I have conducted more than like around 1,000 interviews maybe in my life. So I just see the people and I pity them. I love the guys who attend the interview. I love them a lot. I always wanted to help them. I wanted really they should get the job, okay? But I've seen many technical guys, professionals who fumble and mumble in their word. They are not able to communicate, even though they are beautiful subject matter experts. They are unable to do that. How many people have lost their communication when they are not able to communicate properly? I think this matters a lot. Secondly, sometimes the guy in an office, maybe with a good communication, but not as bright as you, can overshadow you in your organization, just like the leader takes it all. He takes it away. He gets the promotion. He communicates very well to his management, the decision makers, the owners. Sometimes he is a charmer. He comes and takes it all. Does it not really put you in a kind of a shadowed situation that you've been overpowered by somebody else who do not have the capacity to do that? So that can bring in bitterness or jealousy or something like that. So communications really bring the value inside you to the other person who always wanted to know who you are and what you do. I've seen guys in the mid-50s who are not able to go up to that level. He should be in a position of a VP or a country lead. Those who are able to see, the company needs to send you as a representative. Hey guys, go and finish the business lead and come back. Won't they do that? And with your technical skills, if you also have a good communication skills, you will be a convincer and a deal finisher. I think people should have a confidence in the communication. And when you have a good communication, it brings up your personality in a better way as a confident person before your peers and before your management, before your clients. I think it's important for us to sharpen ourselves with the kind of a better communicative words to communicate with others. Some of the myths about communication, we need to be taken. All these things, like, it's not my standard presentation. I keep one thing I love about it is that I prepare new slides for thing. This one I just prepared it for this meeting alone, just like with few words. So no diagrams, nothing. Just a word can help you a lot, because I thought my communication skills should be quite okay with you guys. Okay. Do you need an extensive vocabulary which you need to use the thing? Maybe yes and no. Or no and yes. We don't need an extensive vocabulary which the Shakespeare were using all together. Sometimes it helps you. You put some kind of a beautiful word. Instead of understanding, you put a word called, can we all comprehend the entire situation? That makes it as kind of a holistic approach rather than a kind of a single person understanding. Using better words will always help you a lot. You don't need an extensive vocabulary, but you need some amount of vocabularies, don't you? You do. Don't use some odd words, irrespective. You go to a kind of I take sometimes the classes for the Tamil medium school children. I will try to minimize very, very basic word. The words and expressions are in your context, whom and where you use. When you talk to a young little kids about it, you turn yourself like a one and talk to them. Like a baby, you say the thing, hey baby, how do you do? No, we'll always use lullaby words, correct? When it goes to the level, you go up to the certain level, you're expected to have some effective communication. You have to have sometimes some impressive words to the top level management. Is it all about English alone? No. Some people are excellent in Tamil. Some people are good in Telugu, in Hindi, mother tongue. But sometimes English helps a lot because it's an international language. Hey, I'm a Tamil, I'm speaking, we are not great Hindi fans, but English has replaced our thoughts on this. So it helps a little bit altogether. Sometimes English masters you. It's all about good grammar alone. I would say no, but you should have basic grammar. I've seen many people using like, he did not came. Okay. Any did not, it should come with a come. It should have a sentence. Okay. And they always say the thing for he, she, it. People use the word, okay, he doesn't know. You cannot say he did not know. English is a basic, beautiful language sometimes. Sometimes I'm not good in Hindi, but I use wrong phrases for sometimes when I worked in Chhattisgarh for 2 years as a UNICEF consultant, developing small neonatal care unit. I was the one who built up 23 small units in Chhattisgarh. So I can't manage Hindi, but whenever I ask them, whenever I talk to them, instead of I always use the word tu. Tu is a very singular word. Okay, aap is a plural word. It offends the people. Okay. So when you use certain grammar in a nice way, it looks good. Over a period of time, you need to ask a question. Do I need to think in the language which I speak? Do I need to think in English? Maybe it helps a lot because translation takes a long period of time. So when you wanted to become a fluent a little bit, I don't know which one you think about it. Okay, I think that's over a period of, sometimes you need to use the idioms and phrases that will help a lot in terms of using your language in a better way. Effective communication is really important. Okay, communication, it's nothing but an efficient way of delivering what you think and what you want to communicate with a clear word. Very simple. That's it. It can be for your technical, it can be for your family, it can be for your issues that you face with your friends or with your family or with your wife or anybody. It's an effective way of what you think and communicate to the right person. That's it. Communication is not only what you wanted to communicate, but also it depends upon the recipient who receives also. It's not about you have to vomit anything you think about it. See the reaction of somebody else. Communication is a picture that you give it to somebody. It's more of a recipient based rather than the communicator based. We need it very, very important. If somebody's body language is not comfortable, change over. Ask a question, maybe in a subtle way. Use some beautiful words. English. Have you all read a book called On Saying Please by A.G. Gardiner? If you have not read that book, because he is the one who helps you to, whenever you go, the English is a beautiful language. You can always use it in a kind manner. So the moment you go in the morning, you use some aggressive word to one of your secretary or a junior staff, the whole thing is as a consequences of it. I think A.G. Gardiner wrote it in a beautiful way. Actually, that's a nice way. Okay, and you can read that book. Okay, and nothing but right word at the right time to the right person with the right context is your communication. Use the 4 R's. Okay, right word at the right time to the right person at the right. So maybe when you're talking with your friends, you can use any kind of a word. I was so surprised that whenever I was sitting in the college, the college students were talking with each other with a F word. Okay, it's such friendly word for them, but if you use the same word to somebody else, it's a very offensive word. Correct? The words are not with the word of expression, but it's with the people. In your friends, you will always say, "Hey, macha, what you do?" You know, all these things and all that. That matters a lot. I think the right word has to be used to the right person. If you use the same word to your principal or to the thing, you get really beaten up, right? So, right word at the right time, the right person with the right context is really important. Okay. Some people can write. You know very well that Shakespeare can write, but he can't speak very well. That's what they say, that when Shakespeare was asked to really deliver certain speeches or something, he writes very well. But they say the things Shakespeare was trying to say something, he got such a stage fear, he is not able to deliver. They say Shakespeare conceived 9 times, but delivered none. Meaning that he wants to conceive something that he's not able to deliver it. There is some beautiful phrases about the Shakespeare you can read out later on. But very few people can talk, and very few write, talk, and express. So picturization is very important. For example, this Bharati Raja is an excellent movie director. He is able to communicate his thinking through movie, but when you ask to talk to him, he talks nonsense. He can't talk properly. He's able to picturize it. There are 3 ways of communication. You can write, you can talk, You can picturize it. Today, some of the guys are very good in presentations, correct? Don't we know that? So these are the 3 communication area you can master. If you're able to master all those 3, sorry, I'll just pick the call for my daughter. Just one. Gabi ma, appa our meeting la iruken. 10 minutes. Okay. Everything okay? Okay, bye. Okay, bye. Bye, 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 bye. Sorry, I don't know. I picked my call for my daughter always. So I don't give any chances if she needs me urgently. So what happened? There is one famous saying, unless the writer cries, he cannot make the reader cry. Communication is like that. Unless you express it properly, you cannot make the recipient to receive the vocal that you are saying it. So feel it and just ensure the thing, you conceive it and present it. I think the presentation is a beautiful thing. Unless you don't feel it, you can't make the reader to feel it also, or a recipient to feel it. Okay. Process of effective communication, only 3. Just like we are all process people, correct? We have just workflow, Scrum, Sprint, everything. So let me put it in that context. Okay. Have you heard about most people who are mostly deaf and dumb together? You know why? The deaf can't speak, but they have a vocal voice. They will also, You know why?
Because they might not have heard anything, or they might not have got anything.
Precisely. They cannot reciprocate what they're hearing about it. The first form of communication from the baby is what the baby is able to hear and reproduce it. The dumb guys never heard it, so they become always a mute in their life. So it goes together. Okay, so you need to listen, or you need to read, or you need to see, right? So try to develop a habit of reading some good books, interest, newspaper, anything will give you new vocabulary, new words, how to communicate, the phrases, how they set it on. So the new terminology you can learn rather than your mundane words that you know 10 years ago. We've been managing with the words which we know like 10 years ago, or maybe we heard in our English classes. We need to increase. And also you attend a lot of presentations, pick up some nice words, nice phrases, try to think, put it on. So it's like input, process, output. So the moment the input is coming through you is reading, listening, and seeing. Conceptualize. This is the process. Conceptualize the thought. Think, contemplate, imagine, conceive. Then you're ready to communicate. Take out the fear, you will be able to communicate very well. Your mind will be fine-tuned to use the appropriate word, which is from your data memory. Okay, sometime from your subconscious, sometime from your conscience. Okay, and with practice, you can always make it perfect. Correct. I think that's it. So anything you can just say. The thing, there are other things. Personality development is a beautiful subject we all can know. And a little bit of a body language I can touch, like how you stand, how you present. And yesterday you would have noticed, like when Pramod was talking, he was using his hand openly. This is like a kind of a confidence. When you open up your hand, so you're very confident, your mind is just bright. He knows what he's talking about it. So some people have a folded hands, like that. Okay, then they were very defensive, or they have a mind block in their hands. So whenever I talk, sometimes you will be nodding. That is a kind of an ignorant nod. Whenever you nod a big nod, oh, already I know that, an agreeing nod. Okay, the ignorant nod is always be smaller nod. Then whenever you say, oh, I know all these things, that means I know, I agree, and I'm not. Simple techniques that you can also learn, how you communicate and read your body languages. And also a little bit of leadership skills. Problems solving skills are another amazing things. And ethics, we can even talk about it. That's it. Any question that you can always post it. Hope it was useful, guys.
Yeah, it was amazing session. Thank you very much.
Really good one.
really
Very
good,
good.
Francis. Yeah.
Yeah, it's spellbound. You're spellbound.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. I think this is amazing session. We all learned a lot from this. I really learned a lot from this one. So now I just have a, okay, fine. Let me listen from other people. Anybody wanted to say anything or any further questions or something? And after that, probably I will have something to ask or extend.
I just have one question.
Yeah.
To become a very fluent English speaker, what would be the timeline? How much time we need to spend and how much hours we need to spend and how much reading we have to do? Is there any prescribed things are there?
There is no standard prescription, but 3 months is more than enough for if you really put in enough effort to do that. Okay. One of the things about the communication and an effective communication is the mind block. We will always say sometimes it's a kind of a black, like a black spot or something like that, the blind spot. You can talk about that. So I would rather say that never worry about your mistakes and confidently keep on talking about certain things about it and try to talk. And if possible, try to talk to yourself first of all, any kind of a standard words of communication. Maybe look at the mirror when you're in the bathroom or when you're thinking, keep on talking about it. Sometimes people may think that you may look like a mad fellow, doesn't matter. So always, you always try to say, communication is nothing but reducing the nanosecond between your brain and your lips. That's it. Only by practice, you will be able to get it done. Okay. So when you're able to flow, like think of it like you cannot be really thinking like a kind of what I'm going to speak next and then it becomes a mind block. The fluency will come within 3 months' time. And if you have some group of people, like around 4 or 2 people, take some topics and try to understand and take one. It can be a technical subject, it can be a social subject, it can be a political subject, it can be a financial subjects. Anything you can take it up, whatever the interest comes to you. It is always narrowing the nanosecond between your brain and your lips. That's it. It can happen. 3 months is ample amount of time for you to improvise.
Thank you.
Okay, one more thing, Francis. Like, can you please write this book name in the chat?
A.G. Gardiner?
Yeah.
On saying, please. I will write it here.
Thank you.
Francis, sir, this is Sridevi. I have a question. Usually, there's 2 things, right, Francis? What we talk that cannot be converted directly into a writing way. Like what we talk, we cannot convert it directly into a writing format, right? I mean, into an email or something. But is that okay on converting like that? I mean, the way we talk is entirely different the way we write, right? Is that okay to have both of it as same, or we should always have that professional way of writing?
We are not born professional in anything. Okay, the first level is to, if you're able to write whatever you're thinking and whatever you're talking, I think that is good enough. Okay, then you structure it like around, for example, the same topic, if I need to write it down, I would have structured it in a way that, okay, I would say introduction, then I would say the thing issues at hand. People are not able to communicate, put some bullet points. People are not able to communicate effectively. How can they improvise it? And the recipient of it, you can just say the thing, put some data into it. 80% of people are not able to communicate fluently because of the mind blocks and because of the background and the culture which they come from it. Okay, what is an outcome for it? Same thing I'm talking, but putting in a contextual paragraph is very important. You get me? Sometimes I think it's a way, but start writing whatever you think. then you structure it or rephrase it in a paragraphic format. I think that's the best way you can do it, Sridevi.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Francis, this is Madhuri. I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every time whenever we give some presentation or whenever we have some answer to anybody's question, even I want to give it in a proper way. But sometimes I will prepare something, but I miss out most of the content, but I'll go in a different way. So how can I overcome that? So what practice it makes me to be perfect to give whatever I have prepared for? Maybe a little tension will be there while I give a presentation or some answering questions and all. That is making me to miss the content which I have prepared for. So how can I overcome it?
A very excellent question, Madhuri. Madhuri, what you need, many people do a mistake by writing a lot in their presentation. If you're doing some PowerPoint presentation, write some bullet points. The more you write, you tend to read from there and you will be unable to really think what you wanted to say. Shorter your presentation points, and then you develop the dialogues and talks to them. Okay. And take it in a sequential manner. Okay. Always take the content with the whole thing, like introduction, concept, body, build up, conclusion, challenges. Any topic you can always take it up. You get my point. Introduction, concept, the whole content body, that is the main thrust of it. Okay. And then you take the conclusion point and then you challenges, or in between ask 1 or 2 questions. In order to have some breathing sessions, probably you practice this way. Every second slide, you try to ask 1 or 2 questions to the audience so that your mind will have a breathing space for you to think about it. Post a question, maybe like relevant towards the subject. Let's say if you are taking up a kind of a subject about Scrum Master, okay, then you say the introduction about the Scrum Master. Then you need to ask about it. What's the difference between waterfall and Jira, or waterfall and Scrum? Okay, what's the difference between Scrum Master and the Scrum Order? Okay, how do you differentiate the different types of sprint? What is an average type of sprints that you can have it on? Okay, can we break down the Scrum? If the sprint is overlapping with one another, what do you do? Keep some kind of an intelligent question inside you so that your mind will have a breathing space of it. Don't try to always have a monotonous communication, then it won't be good. When people do have a kind of a tendency to forget or something like that, you better have 1 or 2 big notes right inside you where you will be having a handicap or where you will be forgetting about that. Keep the 10 points. Don't keep more than 10 points for presentation to start with. If you're convinced with 5, then do that alone. Then you practice and go to 10. Then the fluency will automatically come. How many presentations have you done, Madhuri, in your life so far?
I think I started giving some trainings maybe from past 3 to 4 years to my new joinees.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe yearly somewhere around 5 or something like that I used to give whenever the new joiners or the teams, if there are any new people, so I used to give some trainings.
And is it a kind of a routine training with the same subject, or every presentation is a different one?
Yeah, every like the routine trainings only. So in a year, if I give somewhere around 5 trainings, so for all the 5 trainings, I'll have the same content. So I used to keep giving the same trainings to all the people on the domain and on the subject I used to give.
I'm sure you don't have stage fear, no?
I have it actually.
That's the thing.
So,
that is a stumbling block.
Yes, yeah.
Because the same subject, you should be a fluent in talking about it. Okay. Just to break that kind of a fear, the first time you start with a small story. You can start with a small story about it. Okay. It can be a same story. Then your mind becomes it's a lubricant. It becomes a kind of a waterfall. It really smoothens onto it so that your stage fear is completely gone. Tell one small shorter story or crack a joke or something like an icebreaker sessions. Okay, you can just say that. Okay, I'll always tell a small story whenever I go into, even in the World Bank UN presentation that I did. I've done in the United Nations. I did 6 presentations. Okay, the first one I was a little bit taken aback because it was 600 people with all these kind of a thing. It almost like a TED talk. In order to just to break it up, I went and just started with the story like this. Hey guys, I'm coming from Chennai, and I was just standing in a railway station, Egmore railway station. There was a young boy who was trying to sell mangoes, and he is not able to sell any mangoes at all. And lunchtime is coming on. He was going and begging everybody that, can you buy a couple of mangoes so that I would have a lunch? Nobody was buying. I don't know what, it was a very bad day for him. And then when he went to this kind of a staircase, sitting over there, his hunger was very high. He started to take one mango and start eating. And the juice was just flowing on his elbow. He started to lick the elbow and enjoying and relishing the taste of the mango. The moment everybody saw him enjoying, people came and bought it. You know what? In life, when you preach, it's not very effective. When you do, you understand. Then I started a question. How many people in the UN are participants, and how many people are academicians, and how many people are listeners? By the time I told the story, everybody laughed and came to a smile and everything. My fear was gone. Because the story was just like what Pramod was telling. You know, it was very fluent in my mind. I will not have any mind block. I can flow like a water or a kind of a river which really rolls over on the pebbles. So I thought that this is the right way. Just take a barrier, get some small, beautiful stories about ethics or culture or work culture or something like that. Start with that 30 seconds to 2 minutes of the story. Then your mind is at ease. Then the stage fear is completely gone.
Yes, okay.
That's great one.
That's great suggestion actually. Thank you, Francis.
You're most welcome.
Also, not when you speak the stories that you can get your attention of listeners also. You will not be like a theory or subject you are teaching, right? That and the story attracts people. People also listen to it. There is some kind of suspense in it. What is going to happen, right? All those things. Even just now, the one we used tell the story, right? A boy selling mangoes in the railway station. Suddenly you get a picture around it, right? How it's happening and all these things. It's nice.
Now, you can take everybody to this Egmore station. I think that day when I was telling the story, I took everybody to the station and they were standing with me on seeing the boy. The way we express and you show the replica of, I saw that the boy was enjoying and everybody saw the glow in my face when I said the thing the boy was enjoying. I think that trueness will always break the silence and the barrier between them.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you, Francis.
Excellent. Any more questions? Anyone question? This is a wonderful session. I don't think we should deviate any other content into this one. So any other questions?
Hello, Francis sir.
Yes, Srinivas.
I have a question. Maybe it is advanced. While we are attending an interview, the personality development, like how we behave and what the activities we are doing, is it really important? As a QA lead, I have took many of interviews, but I didn't observe all those things from the candidate. Is it really important and while selecting the candidate, or we need to choose only technical skills? Even for my side also, how do I behave?
Well, depending upon the company and the position. Okay, like when I was joining the UN, my psychometric test took three weeks because I was one of the colored guy and I was very emotional. And for psychometric test, I kept on failing because my actually the job description defines you a lot. For example, I was conducting an interview like 3 months ago. We needed a PLSQL guy. I was telling my group, Okay, we wanted that guy somehow. We have decided to take him, even if he's not answering the question properly. Okay, but at the same time, what today somebody was asking about PricewaterhouseCoopers, CW,
PwC, yes, yeah,
oh,
PwC.
they will be stringent. They are going to filter you on a kind of a blanket. Ensure that you are the right candidate for it. So after joining, I used to be in the panel of the interview. My job is not to talk anything. I will just observe their body language, what they say is true or not. So your behavior, your communication skills, you're nodding, you're looking at your eye contacts, everything is very, very, very important. It's better to improvise it, even though it's going to be a very easy interview, or people you're technically very sound. Today, if somebody wants a kind of a desperate Angular programmer, they have decided to take you. They don't worry about your body language or communication. But as you go up to the ladder of a leadership thing, so your body language, your presentation skills, your personality, how you dress up, how you stand, how you fold your hands, all that matters a lot. It's better to really develop those skills, Srinivas. And also your strong way of voice modulation is very important. Sometimes whenever you say a story, like you watch that in Pramod, when you are saying that, when there is an emphasis that you need to give, you always need to say the thing, the people can't miss the meeting. That means that emphasis is given not to miss that. But at the same time, whenever you have your tea boy who's coming into it, why not you give him a tea? Why not you be a little bit of a sympathetic towards that? The voice modulation, you have to be very careful in your communication. It will come over a period of time. Whenever you use the kind word, you just mellow down the word. Actually, take a kind of a cutting edge of this curvature of your word and take it to that, rather than when you're giving an emphasis on that. When you say about your standard meeting, a scrum master, the owner is the important guy. So the word, the owner itself, it's a voice modulation matters. It will all come, and people observe that. A lot of people in a very high level interviews, when you go, they will always notice that it's better to develop those skills also.
Thank you.
Excellent. I think I have really an important point, which I just getting present now, is this one, right? So this whole group here, we are all looking for a job opportunity. And one of our important challenges to how do you give a best interview for us? Knowledge is one side. How do you presentation skills also matters a lot, right? So this is, I know we have broader level, we covered everything here. Dr. Francis, I think it's really, really great. But can we look at something interview specific? You said, right, just now, you are a person to observe the people, whether they are talking right or not, or telling truth or not, right? Those are something really amazing. So we do not know exactly I think most of us will not be really knowing how do we present it. It's not about the content, it's about the way you present it. I just wanted to see, can we have a specific session which is for this group, right?
True.
How do you put it across? And maybe I think we can even have a one real interview sessions, and you give a feedback on that also can be a great input for us.
Probably what we can do, we can have some mock sessions, and let it be one interviewer and one attender. Then I can see the body languages and write.
That will be very
Where
good.
are the places they can improvise it?
Yeah, there are people like, maybe let me do this. Maybe I will do an interview with Madhuri, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe somebody else, whoever wanted to come up, right?
Right.
And we'll do an interview, and you observe for half an hour, and then probably provide the feedback. That is a full learning session for the rest of the group as well.
Absolutely. I will watch and I'll note down, and I will not talk anything. Then I will give my observation, and for improvisation only. No?
Correct.
Exactly.
It's not only for that person, for the rest of the group also. That's what I'm trying to tell you, right?
True.
So that's what I want.
Will be good. I will do that, definitely.
We'll plan for this. I mean, everybody up for this game? Because I don't see most of you in face and
Yes.
camera. Please.
Yes.
Pramod, of course.
Back.
Yeah.
Sure, Pramod.
Right? So
Sure,
now
definitely.
do you have any volunteer for that interview? I said Madhuri's name, but anybody else? No, Anirban, you are not getting the chance. Ranjit, I think there's a power cut there or what? You're on mute. We can't hear you.
I like sitting in dark actually.
Yeah, okay, fine. So anybody up for the interview? Can we do it maybe, if not tomorrow, the day after tomorrow or something? Can we take up this kind of a session? Francis,
I can even tell whether they are telling the truth or beating around the bush. It is very much possible.
Super.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Any suggestion, any comments? Anybody who's ready to take up this challenge? Joshana?
Don't be fearful. Just be yourself, and that is the most beautiful.
I think
part.
I'll take with Madhuri only. Madhuri, ready? Yeah?
First
Like
try on me.
we will find it out how much stage fear you have, how much question you have. You are already answered many things, right? You know whether he will be able to find out everything or not. Let us look at it, right? I'm see, this offer is for anyone. Okay, please don't restrict yourself. This is a great opportunity.
Sure, Pramod. No issues. I'll be there.
Right. Excellent. So when is a convenient date? Tomorrow, day after tomorrow? One of these one. Which one would be better? I will choose Francis' convenience. Which one is that?
No. I'm okay. I'm very flexible. Except for morning.
No. Same time tomorrow.
No, morning 6 to 11 is my work because I work on the Japanese time. So after that, I'm a little bit flexible. I can accommodate.
So same time tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Everyone, all of you.
Yes.
Ready?
Yep.
All what we heard about theory, we will going to see the practicals tomorrow and see how is going to go improvement. And if there's a time,
I wanted that person who's answering should be in the big screen. So
yeah, absolutely. We will come on video. I mean, all the people.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the way we do mock interview sessions here. Dr. Francis, we will do. How do we do it? Only the panel and the interviewer are on video. Rest all are go on video mute and everybody observe it.
I will not look into this. I will not look into the subject. I will look into their body language and I will look into their personality, and then I will say where they lied and where they need improvement, where they fear. I can easily point out and say.
Absolutely, great. Yeah. So at least we will improve on our communicating. Okay, great. Okay.
Communication is very, very, very important with your mind connect. Okay.
Yeah.
For example, so this is your anger. This is your voice. Okay. So whenever you're angry, your voice goes up, and your temperature for anger also goes up. When your anger goes up, again voice goes up. It keeps going. The strongest emotion is one of the anger. Okay. We always give 62 points for your anger. The extreme emotion for your divorce or death or something like that, it is only 84. Anger is 62. I'll show you some of the chart for your emotional chart. I have it. I'll show it to you. There is a reading for it. Now, the best way to control your anger, it's not possible because it's connected to your inner soul and your emotion and your mind. The moment you control your voice, your anger doesn't go.
Oh.
Now, whenever you're angry with your friend or your wife or something, if you're talking in a kind of an 44 syllable of your voice, reduce it to 20. Extreme anger, you try to mellow down and say, I'm really very much unhappy and I'm pissed off with the whole thing. Can we stop this conversation, please? If you keep in this low tone, your anger doesn't go up. It is controlled with your voice. It applies to everything for your interview, with your peers, with your communication with your family, with your friends, with your boss, or anybody. And also the speed also matters a lot. If you're able to do that, your mind is in control with your voice.
Wow, that's amazing. Great. This is totally new learning. Yeah. I had a similar experience some time back, right? When I was hiring a person, and he's technically very sound, really great person, and we are in need of an urgent person for a developer at that level, and he fits into the role in all sense except the communication skills. Except everything else, he is fine with it. So I am ready to push that candidature for my manager. So I went and asked him, and he said he talked to him, and he came back and said, like, communication is not good. So I said, I know that, but at least he knows everything what we require in the technical, and it's day one he will be productive. We will be able to deliver this one, etc. All these things I said, I can try to convince him. And one point what he asked me, the manager asked him to me was really eye-opener. He said, Pramod, I understand he'll come and do the job. What will happen after 2 years? Will I be able to give him a promotion to next level if he continue to be these communication skills? Right? And if I don't give a promotion to him, his juniors will go up to the ladder, and he will not be happy anyway. I don't think we are doing a good justice to him and for ourselves if you hire him. Right? So I could convince that, right? How do he get a promotion as a leader or he is not able to communicate to people, right? People would laugh at him. Actually, it might not be very good for the people to, listen to a person who could not really communicate it. He might do code well, but then finally we did not hire him. I mean, anyway, it was not my call, it's my manager's call. But my point I'm talking about, it's way long back I have seen that, this when Srinivas asked the question, I was able to connect the story, and I thought of sharing that with you. With that, I think we will wind up. It's already 9 o'clock.
One thing I wanted to say, Pramod, I had a discussion with you about it. Today, a lot of large level development agencies or big companies are hiring people with attitude. They believe that skills can be developed.
Excellent.
Attitude can't be developed. To make somebody as a Scrum Master or a PLSQL programmer from a kind of an MS SQL, it is not a rocket science. You send him on a kind of a 3-month course, he's done. But people with attitudes are very, very important. Today, the scoring for attitude is given at 60 points. When it comes to technical points, they are giving only 20 or 25. So attitude can't be, you have to inculcate certain attitude in yourself. I think that's very, very important for us to take down. Pramod, just take it. Thank you, guys. Wonderful.
Excellent. Thank you. I think it's a really great information. So really appreciate Francis for your time and knowledge sharing. Absolutely, you are like a treasure for our group. So Madhuri, tomorrow be ready. We will have our
Hey, take it easy. Yeah, it's going to be a fun session. Don't worry.
Yeah, guys, thank you. Let us see all of we'll see tomorrow, and we will get more people also tomorrow for this session.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
Francis.
Thank you, Francis.
Thank you.
Thanks all.
I'm going to post this video to the.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.